Today's March 1st, 2026, and welcome to the 477th episode of the So Video Games podcast. Here on the show, I talk about any game at all, including new stuff, old stuff, and anything in between. My name is Brad Galloway. I'm the one-man host of this show, except today, I am not one man, but I am two men. I am joined by man about town, Carlos Rodella. How you doing, sir?
Good. It's like Voltron. We
combine to form a larger
two people,
a larger reviewer. Yeah. Yes.
We are now two men.
Which is weird. All right, folks, welcome. I kind of skipping over some of the preamble just to get to the good stuff. We got lots to talk about in the show today. Carlos, I'm glad you're here, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I have lots to say.
That is good because I also have lots to say, and together we will be more than the sum of our parts. We will be Reviewtron, or I don't know, some kind of weird amalgamation. We can figure out something.
Reviewtron's good. I like
that.
Not
too bad. That's too bad. Okay. All right, let's just get to it, folks. We got a fair amount of housekeeping today. Let's just dive in. Carlos, since you are the guest today, why don't you kick things off?
I want to start off with a little bit of lighthearted game memories that I got from Click for Gameplay, one of my favorite YouTube channels.
Okay.
He always goes into all these RPGs that I love. And anyways, he was mentioning a couple old games he was going back to. One of those YouTube videos where like, I played these old games so you don't have to,
Gotcha.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
And he mentioned two games. One you'll know, The Last Aura Crew.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, we did play that one. Yep.
We gave that a shot.
We really did.
We did, and then we got stuck somewhere. It's a Souls-like. And then the other one that I want to go back to now because he brought it up was Marlow Briggs.
Oh, dude, I still have that on my that's on my Xbox hard drive right now.
Really?
I've actually, I looked at it. So that's not the full title. The full title is what's the full title?
Else. Marlow Briggs something.
Marlow Briggs and the Mask of Death or something like that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna look it up.
Yeah. I feel like we reviewed it at Game Critics when it came out, and I'm like, that seems like the kind of jank that I like, and I bought it and downloaded it, and it's actually on my Xbox X right now. It's on the hard drive. But I've never even pressed start on it. So you want to go back to it? Tell us about it.
Let's both do it. I haven't I'll go back to it. I'll tell you what it's about. It's like third person with a little bit of platforming, action adventure, just hack and slash. Like just go destroy things, like old school 360 games in a way.
Yeah, and 360 for sure.
Yeah, and you just run around and like hit things, kind of Diablo style, but a little closer to the camera kind of thing. And it's just a lot of fun. I remember having a lot of fun and watching him play it again. I was like, oh my goodness, that's right. He goes, in this day and age, it's kind of fun to just have a game that's straightforward, action all the time, and just, that's it. You just like kicking butt and making new weapons.
Yeah.
And there's like really cool like blades he has. Oh my goodness, it seems so fun. And I definitely started it back in the day. So yeah, I decided to mention his channel. Check him out. Click for Gameplay, the number 4.
Man.
And then let's both play it for the show. We should play it
this week, yeah. You're actually proving the opening true, new stuff, old stuff, anything between. This is definitely old stuff. This is from back. This is a deep, deep cut that I don't really hear anybody ever talking about. So, yeah, ironic that I still had it and you want to play it. So, yeah, maybe we should fire it up this week and talk about it like the next time we're on the show. That would be a wild blast from the past. Yeah, I look at it every single time I go through my Xbox library. I'm like, there it is. I'll get back to it.
That's funny.
Today's not your day, Marlow Briggs, but maybe tomorrow. But
Today's not your day, Marlow. That's funny. Wait, that's a good podcast name.
Today's
not your day, Marlow Briggs.
Yeah, that's a good one. But next week.
The full name.
Next week could do it.
Okay, I'm going to download it after the show. And thank you to Click for Gameplay. So check his channel out. And then the other thing I just want to mention is some upcoming games.
All right.
Because I'm really excited. Mainly one, but I'm going to play 7 Deadly Sins, the gacha game.
Okay.
Which is based on an anime, and I'm kind of excited for that. But really, I wanted to just talk about, for a hot second, Crimson Desert.
Crimson Desert.
The whole internet is alight with news about, but I'm guessing you don't know
Which is funny because this just shows how large the world and how large gaming is. Because honestly, until you brought it up, I don't think I had even heard anybody talking about it. And I'm like, oh, is this like related to Black Desert? Are there multiple deserts? Like what kind of, I believe you. I'm sure it's got like 85 million players or something, because that seems like every game I've never heard of has this like incredible base. But like honestly, I haven't heard a peep about it in my circles.
Well, I'll give you a reason why I'm excited, and I'll explain what it is. But Black Desert Online developers made this game. It's not out yet, and it comes out in 2 weeks, and I have pre-ordered it. And it is a one-player game, no monetization, not a MMO or anything like that. So it's the people who made a game like that, Black Desert Online, which is fun, and I did play. But they made a single player game, and every time we'd see a trailer, we being like the collective community of gamers, we'd be like blown away and like, is this even real? Because it would be like, now, there's lightning bolts. Now you can fly. Now there's a mech suit later in the game.
This is so funny, dude, because like I feel like you're just talking out of your ass because I'm like, I haven't heard anything about this. I haven't heard literally. I'm gonna Google it right now. So I keep talking.
I think it's impossible that you haven't. That's what I don't understand. I think you're
seriously
lying.
have not, dude. I like.
Okay, and then all of a sudden they were like, and then there's wrestling. There's like there's like wrestling moves you can do to the people. Anyways, I believe that it's going to be good because Black Desert Online is good and it's a fun MMO. And so if they just took a lot of that base building, like all this kind of like, if you know MMOs, there's lots of different parts to those games. So they crammed all that into a single player game. Now here's the biggest part of it as you look it up.
I'm looking at the trailer right now.
Why I'm so excited, as we're going to talk about Neo later and we're talking about Souls-likes. I just want a game that's like, let me explore and have fun and do things my way, a la Dragon's Dogma or something.
This reminds me a little bit of like Assassin's Creed. The part of the video I'm looking at, it looks like a dude's walking around this open world. He's like climbing a mountain.
Yeah,
there's like some there's VR effects or something. There's some kind of magic. I mean, it looks a lot like a open world, like a traditional open world. I'm sure there's a lot more to it. This is just a trailer I'm watching, but yeah, it's kind of what.
Open world RPG, and also think Dragon's Dogma, right?
Okay.
Where like, remember Dragon's Dogma, you like jump on top of an enemy
climb
and
anything.
like climb it. Yeah. So it's that kind of thing where it's like, hey, we're just going to give you a lot of things in a sandbox to play with. But here's the key thing: the developer said the players who love exploration will be playing Crimson Desert for 200 hours because they reward people who want to explore. So the combat isn't like just, get good. It's not like leveling up to 1,000,000. It's like your experience is kind of like focused on you exploring. So I think a lot of it's going to be about just like going into this world and like checking it out. And that is the biggest thing that I'm excited about.
I mean, I got to say, looking at this trailer, it does look pretty dope. I mean, there's like a part where the dude's flying around a dragon and he's like blowing fire on some enemy castle and shit. And there's space stuff in the air. And I mean, I don't know. It looks kind of cool. I mean, it looks definitely like something I would play for sure.
Yeah, I think and I hope that it is what, the antidote to some of the stuff that I get upset with, RPGs when they want you to get good, in quotes. And I just like the idea of like having fun. And again, I always go back to Skyrim. I go back to Dragon's Dogma.
So let's quantify that a little bit. So like for people who maybe have not heard all your appearances or maybe they've forgotten, like in a nutshell.
All my rants.
Oh, after all your rants. So like in a nutshell, like what are you looking for? Give me like, your top 3 things when you play something like this. Like what makes a good one of these? What do you like?
Yeah, I mean, that's the crux of it. And we'll kind of jump and get into it now before Neo because it was going to come up then. But basically, like, I think I talked about this on one episode, but I like old school RPGs where exploration was a huge part of it.
Like PC style RPGs.
PC style, old school RPGs. Ultima, I think of, is one of my first games ever. Many of the Ultimas were like, go do stuff, and there'll be monsters and figure it out.
Like Bethesda, like open world Fallout, Morrowind, that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Elder Scrolls.
And then and New Vegas, which I just went back to.
Yeah, that kind of. Okay,
perfect
so that kind
example.
Of gotcha.
And then mix in what I've wanted since I was a kid, which is the new emergent gameplay, which Dragon's Dogma has. Other games, where they build systems and you go like, oh my goodness, what's happening over there?
Unexpected interactions or things. Maybe you try something and it works and you're happy because it worked, or maybe the monster does something you weren't expecting or whatever. Yeah, gotcha.
And that is a stark contrast to how I'm playing games like Neo and Souls-likes and Wolong and whatever. Yeah. Because they go, hey, here's what you need to do. And if you don't do that, you're screwed. Like you can probably be a little bit tricky. Like right now, to jump ahead, I'm playing as a ninja and I can like keep distance and shoot magic at it, right? Mm-hmm. That's me doing a little bit of like physics driven, like I'm kind of dodging. I'm doing a little bit of my own gameplay. But every once in a while, it's got its same attack patterns that is not going to change. And it's going to go, well, guess what? Remember that thing you're supposed to guard? You didn't do it. So
yeah. But these are fundamentally different. Like at its core, they may like look similar. Like they may have open worlds and stuff, but I think at the core they're two fundamentally different genres. But I get what you're saying.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm bringing it up
Yeah.
to show the difference. And I think you can have a great blend of the two.
Oh, sure.
I will again jump ahead and say Neo 3 does pretty good job of that actually, and Elden Ring did a really good job of that because those are I beat Elden Ring, right? Like I don't normally beat those Souls-like games. So I think that if you mix those two, it can be really special. And so anyways, I veer towards the other side, which is like go explore, have fun, see what happens, and that's what this game's going to be.
Okay.
That's a long-winded way to say I'm excited.
All right. Well, like I said, looking at the trailer, it does look pretty cool. I haven't heard much about it, but I mean, it seems really impressive. And is it coming from Korea?
I don't know where Black Desert Online developers are. I should have done research. If we don't.
I mean,
that.
I'm guessing probably. It looks like it's got
Desert
Korean flavor to it, but I could be wrong.
Online. Well, let's make
Okay,
sure we
let's
get it
find
right
out.
now.
Let's find out.
Developer is Crystal Black Desert Online. Pearl Abyss. Pearl Abyss. I knew it was Crystal something. Pearl Abyss.
And they're from?
Developer Pearl Abyss is from. Everybody listening is like, what? South Korean.
Okay.
South Korean
There we go,
developer. Yeah.
All right.
MMORPG. And this is their first, I think their first single player game.
All right.
So-
All right. So we have Black
All
Desert
right.
Online. We have Crimson Desert Offline.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I'm excited.
What else you
and
got?
then I did want to say that I got some toys. Oh, we talk about it at the end, don't we? Toys.
We can. Sure. You want to, I mean, okay, that's fine.
I found 2 toys.
All right.
and I took a
Put an
picture.
asterisk. I love to talk about toys.
Yeah.
You know I do. I'm definitely a toy
Yeah.
guy. Put it at the end. Don't forget it. What are
Okay.
what are the game housekeeping things you got?
Well, do we want to talk about Xbox again, or do we just say like whatever?
It's up to you, man. You got something? Go for it.
I mean, I heard you talk a little bit about it. Yeah, I mean, like I think the last time you talked about it, you were like, I don't know what's going on, because a lot of people were like confused.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very clear they were fired. Like, right? Like
You
that's-
think? I mean,
like,
I keep
that's-
hearing that. What's his name retired, or was it a forced
Oh,
retirement?
no,
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't
well,
know.
again, I've been in the weeds on the YouTube videos,
Sure,
and
sure.
so
You've probably been doing more digging than I have.
yeah, it's. I mean, it's like wildly, blatantly obvious that they're going a direction that's weird. Will probably break them. The original creator of the Xbox has put a statement out that says Asha Sharma, who's coming as the CEO,
The new head. Yeah, the new head.
is there to sunset Xbox. That's his idea. I'm not
as a
far
standalone
off.
kind of thing, like as its own thing.
Well, as in like no more Xbox. Yeah, just like we make games and publish games still because we have all these studios. But it's just they put them anywhere, which is what they were originally starting to do.
Dissolve it as a standalone, separate. Maybe there's, like
Yes,
you said,
yeah,
still do
yeah.
games and development, but we're no longer going to be like,
Yeah.
Well, there's no longer going to be an Xbox to buy, perhaps, or something like that.
Yeah, and you get rid of Phil and Sarah if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Because they had their own direction, their own ideas of what they wanted to do.
Yeah.
So I think it makes sense. Phil was going to retire anyhow, but they advanced retired him.
Yeah.
That's
what I heard.
And they got rid of Sarah. Like she didn't have a statement ready. She was gone. And then insider news. Again, this is all who cares really, but a lot of people said they didn't like working with her. That she was like a problem.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There's a lot about like she came up with like there is no Xbox. Xbox is everywhere.
Everything's
kind of thing.
an Xbox or whatever
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, this is an
And
Xbox.
a lot of
yeah.
people didn't like that. So, anyways, I just think that it's what I said, 5-6 years ago, that there wouldn't be an Xbox.
Oh,
and
sure.
That,
yeah.
I've always said, like, if they don't cater to the fans and the actual people that bought those consoles and care about those, franchises and brands, then they're going to leave. And so they all did leave. Like that brand is like, really damaged, I think,
Yeah.
from not doing what
You
they
need
could have
you need
done.
a reason to support it. You need a reason to be there. Otherwise, if it's play anything anywhere, then what are you supporting? You're just individual
and
games or
also
something? Yeah.
and also release some games, because I mean it's the obvious. What's it called in the room? Elephant in the room.
Elephant in the room, yeah.
Every year they would say, and all the podcasts I would listen to, be like, "This is our year, guys." We're gonna release. They're releasing like 5 good games, and like one comes out.
Yeah.
They cancel 3 studios, and you're like, Well, you can't keep doing that.
Yeah. I mean, I fully agree. I don't think that any of this is good news in any circumstance. I mean, getting rid of the people who were at least on some level actual gamers, that's not a great thing. Their history, like you just said, of like buying a bunch of, they went through like this wild acquisition period. They bought some really talented studios and then didn't do anything with them. They kept like breaking up the teams, putting them on support roles and doing like dumb shit. Like everybody was like, what are you guys doing? Like you buy these amazing houses and then you just like blow them up. Like what's even the point of doing that? And then this person, this Asha Sharma person who, I haven't done a lot of reading, but I have read a little bit about her. She's just like a business head. She's just like a pro AI, whatever. And she's not, and it's weird to me that this person who has no background in gaming, either personally or professionally, shows up and the first thing she says is, we're taking Xbox back to what the gamers want. And I'm like, how do you even know what we want? You're not a gamer. You haven't been in Xbox. You've been doing Instacart. How do you know what anybody wants? Like,
yeah,
it's just all horseshit.
It's all horseshit. It's just what's it called? Dog and Pony Show.
Dog and Pony Show, yeah.
It's a Dog and Pony Show, people. That's also a good podcast name.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think you're right. I think they're gonna get rid of Xbox as a thing. They'll probably still, develop or release games or license games or whatever, but like you said, it's gonna be on everything else, and they're gonna just kind of be like a Sega these days. I think maybe
a Sega, exactly.
Yeah.
Which I called, and we should go back to that episode.
You were on record years ago with that, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I said they're gonna be Sega. I said that same.
Yeah, you did.
Anyways, I'm not happy by this. I know I joyfully said that because I like, it's nice to be right every once in a while, but no, I don't. All this is bad.
It sucks to be right about bad stuff.
Yeah, and competition breeds creativity. It's awesome to have competition. I love Sega versus Super Nintendo versus TurboGrafx.
Sure.
You motherfuckers.
Back in the day.
And all that competition was great. Remember Nintendo versus the Master System before Genesis?
Yeah, that wasn't much of a fight, to be honest, but yeah, I do remember that.
I know.
Man, I could crush some jalapeno poppers right now. I'm like, I haven't had any breakfast, and I don't know, I'm just like, for whatever reason.
Where did that come from?
Nowhere. It came from nowhere. It just popped into my head. I'm like, man, that'd be really good right now.
I thought you were thinking like the 90s, like we were like playing video games and like eating crappy food.
No, I want jalapeno poppers right now. Those still exist, unlike the Master System, and I don't have any in the house, so I guess I'm fucked. But if there were some
let's
here...
go to your housekeeping. Or you're going to have to go and leave the house to get poppers.
Maybe I will. I am going out this afternoon. Maybe I will get some fucking jalapeno
Maybe
poppers.
you should. And when we play Marlow Briggs, and it's like the 90s all over
again. Yes. All I need is like some Orange Crush or something to go with it, and we're fine. So.
Well, I'm going to eat cookies while you talk.
All right. Okay. Housekeeping. Hotel Barcelona, coming from Swery65, who is a guy that I like, and I have really liked a lot of his past work. I feel like, no shade, but he's kind of going a little bit off the ranch these days. I feel like maybe he's making some bad calls. So that's kind of disappointing. He released a game recently called Hotel Barcelona, which I absolutely hated. I thought it was just like the hottest hot trash. It was not good. And I think a lot of other people agreed with me. They just recently, like maybe 1 or 2 days ago, put out an email. And I believe this is one also that Suda51 was in, and I really wish Swery would stay away from Suda. I don't think they're good for each other. I don't think Suda is talented at all. And I know some people like him. That's great. If you like him, that's great. I think he's a talentless hack, and I think he's a jerk, and I just don't care for his work
Wait,
at all.
What's that game? Didn't he just release a game, too?
He released Romeo is a Dead Man.
Yeah.
But that one was on his own. That didn't have Swery involved in it. But this was a co-op collab kind of a thing. And it sucked. It sucked so hard. And so they put out an email today saying, today we unveil, I'm reading from the email, Hotel Barcelona, quote unquote, the under new management update. It is not a patch. And they have like bold and underlined. This is not a routine patch. It is a
interesting
structural refinement of the player experience, including 5 free skins, which is fine. They're saying in a nutshell, movement is faster, recovery is shorter, parries matter, dodges create space, enemies take longer to react, multiplayer is more fair, the opening experience is better, the entire game runs better, etc., etc. There's a whole long list of, it's a pretty long list. I can't even read all this stuff of like stuff that has been changed and different. And they have also included a couple of skins. They have one skin from Demon School. They've got 2 skins from Slitterhead, and they've got 2 skins from Promise Mascot Agency. And so they're like, yeah, we're really taking this back to the nuts and bolts, building it back up from the ground up. We really fucked up. And nobody liked this game, and so we're trying to salvage it.
Well, that's cool, though.
Yeah, cool for them. I'm glad that they did that, because I mean, there were cool parts to it. I'm like looking at the game and I'm like, even though I hate this, I can see some things that are fine about it and I think they're okay. It was just a miserable fucking experience. So I'm glad that they're doing something about it. So just heads up, the new management update is here. It's not a regular update. It's not a patch. It's like a basic reworking. So maybe go back to it and check it out if you like. I probably will not because I'm drowning in games right now, but maybe some point in the future. Nah, I'm not going to do that, but maybe somebody else will.
Yeah, cool.
Something else that happened. AI. Let's talk about AI for a hot second.
Again?
We have
Oh
to.
my
We have to
goodness.
because there was, I don't know if you caught this, but there was a bit of hubbub this week. There is a person.
I know all.
You know about
Go
this
ahead.
already?
Go ahead.
There was a quote unquote person, a person in quotes, named Brian Marigold, who, as far as I can tell, is not a real person. Had a review go up at videogamer.com covering the new Resident Evil Requiem. And somebody called bullshit on it. They're like, actually, this is not a person, and this looks like a fully written AI review. They looked into it, and lo and behold, it was. And so somebody...
Oh, I don't know this story.
Okay, this is a different story. So they took it down immediately. Metacritic got fucking pissed, took the review off of the Metacritic site, and told them, don't fucking do that again. But yeah, this was like a full-on, not a real person. He had like a fake bio. He had... the whole thing was just generated by AI. And reading it, you're like, okay... If you know what AI or the writing style is, you're like, this seems weird. This doesn't seem like a person. And it was. So I don't know. This is probably not the first time, but this is a pretty obvious and, caught red-handed example of somebody like phoning it in, just doing a stupid bullshit ChatGPT review from a fake person and running it like a real thing. And that's just not okay. So that got taken down. And I don't want to speak out of turn. I'm not going to out anybody here, but I have heard from another person who had written for videogamer.com in the past that they had recycled their old reviews and slapped a brand new AI name on it and put it out like a real thing. So that person was very aware of that. And none of this is okay. None of this is fucking okay.
I hate to tell you, though.
Was it you? Did you do this?
Close. No, I did do it. Yeah, it was me. It's not even close to what's going to happen or is happening right now. And a bunch of people are already fooled. Like it's going to be flooded. Like this is like
oh yeah, I mean the floodgates
the
are
tip
open
of the
sure.
iceberg
for sure.
So and then secondly, you think that's kind of weird?
I mean, I don't think it's weird. I think it's shitty. I think it's super shitty.
Yeah, shitty. If you think that's shitty, I don't know if you think this shitty is or weird, but like there's now streamers that are AI agents.
Oh, I've heard that. Yeah, I've heard that.
Yeah, and the number one AI agent streamer is doing very well. Like more followers than me for sure, like millions of followers. So it's not like I just bring this up because, I'm always on like the middle or the other side. And I have a lot of hatred and I'm mad about a bunch of stuff when it comes to AI. But we're through the looking glass. We're like in that moment where it's all lots of stuff is going to change
for sure. And I feel like I just needed to just for a moment. I mean, I hear you for sure, and I hear all that. I have heard. It's funny because my son watches a couple YouTube channels or whatever, and the other day I'm like, "What the fuck is going on with this?" Like, it was so weird. The guy that was narrating, he was not on camera. I say he in quotes, but it was like some kind of a game preview thing that he was watching, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this?" And we listened to it. I'm like, that's totally like an AI voice. And they didn't say anything. There was no disclosures like this is AI generated. It's not a real person. And I'm like, why the fuck are you watching this? This is not a real person. I think that the only thing I want to say on this, we can move on after this, is like, it's not inevitable. I keep hearing people say, this is the future. This is inevitable. And that's what those tech bro assholes in Silicon Valley want us to think. We can do anything we want to. We can stop.
No, I know.
We can disclose. We can put asterisks on things. We can label things, or we don't have to use it at all. And considering all the negative things about AI, which we don't need to get into now, but there's many, we can choose to simply say, actually, this is not the future. We choose something else. So I just need to say, just because some asshole somewhere says it's the future does not mean it's the fucking future.
And I don't mean that at all because
I'm not saying no. It's not you.
And I think that we need to do that with things like war, like obviously the whole Pentagon thing that happened. If you are aware of that,
do you not talk about that because I'm going to talk about it. It's going to be like 90 minutes of me ranting.
Okay, I'll do a really quick pivot, which is, go ahead. I agree the future is ours to mold, right?
Yes.
And us as humans can like really use a lot of this technology and do like fun, cool stuff with it, and not the terrible stuff.
Sure.
How about that? Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. And I will yes and you. And say that I think there can be good uses and appropriate uses of this technology for sure. It's just like any tool. Any
Cool.
tool can be used for good or it can be used for evil. Right now, we're really leaning on the evil. I say let's pivot to the good, please.
And there's a bunch of good happening at the same time right now.
There must be
also.
somewhere. I will choose to believe that.
There is.
but-
I'm doing some of it. Raise his hand. Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
Moving on. Any
Before
more
we leave
housekeeping?
housekeeping,
Any more
I wanted to mention my app that is
Oh,
finally
yeah.
out.
Do it.
So it's called Matcha. Did I mention it on the show already?
You did talk about it last week, but give us
Okay.
an update.
Matcha, but it's match so match and then AH. And if you just go to matcha.life, I put up the first commercial. It took me a long time to make this commercial. I edited it myself. I did music, and I had to do a bunch of stuff to edit this.
Where is this running? Like, are we talking ABC, Fox? Where's this commercial at?
It's on Fox Network. Yeah. I love Fox. No, it's just on the website. So you go to the website, and I have a YouTube channel now. But matcha.life, you go to the site, you can sign up for the app. It's free. Obviously, everything's free. It's a web app, so it's not Android or iPhone yet, which makes me able to edit it
You'll get there.
quickly.
You'll get there.
Oh, I mean, I could do it today, but I don't want to because, just to clarify, you can edit a web app like within a second, and you just hit publish.
Yeah.
Android and all the stores are,
You got to go through
all the
QC and all
they
that
do.
stuff. Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So right now I'm just iterating, and the commercial's up. And if you look at the commercial, I think you'll get it like right away. Even you, Brad Galloway. 'cause
Even
I
me,
don't think you.
famed Luddite, Brad Galloway, yes.
No, I mean like. Even you could look at it because I think I haven't done a good job of explaining it. That's what I meant.
I'm gonna that didn't sound favorable at all. Like even you,
That's what I
dumbass,
meant,
even
though.
you can
No.
figure it out. Like,
Okay, can I clarify?
yes, please clarify.
I meant like even you could. I can't
See,
say
it sounds
even.
bad when you say it like
It does sound bad. You're right.
you should say like
Hey, Brad,
anyone can get into it.
Anyone,
There
but
you go.
more like, hey, Brad, because I don't think I've told you enough about the app. Why don't you check the video out?
Sure. Any smart,
That's what I
sexy,
meant.
curious people can come check out this app and like see what's going on there.
I don't. Okay, any was the wrong word. You can check out the commercial, and it helps understand what the app is. And what the app is, by the way, is you meet people near you who share your likes, and that's it.
No, it's
That's
a cool
all it
app.
does.
I love the idea. I think it's a great idea. I think everybody you've told has been like, "Oh, that's actually a cool idea." So it's a good idea.
Okay,
For sure.
Well,
Confirmed.
let's all use it. Let's all use it.
We're gonna work on the marketing.
and that's
though.
it.
I think you need a better marketing approach.
Well, I can't market to you with even you. That's the wrong way to
even
do it.
even you can do it. All right.
Man, I don't. You know what I meant.
I knew what you meant, but it sounded really bad, and I thought there was a joke opportunity there, and there was.
It made it comedy.
It made it comedy. We got to laugh. We got to laugh, or we're gonna cry, and we're not crying on the show today. All right.
We're not crying.
Let's see. Before we move on, as y'all know, or maybe you don't know, I am the editor of GameCritics.com, sister site of this podcast, and I do want to shine a little spotlight on some things we did this past week. We had a review of Carmageddon, and we had a review of, preview of Star Sand Island. That is we're going to talk about Carmageddon in a minute, but Star Sand Island is kind of like like a Harvest Moon sort of a thing, but there's also some fantasy life mixed into it. If any of those names mean anything to you, that probably sounds interesting. Review of Total Chaos, a really spooky horror game that I guess really brings the chills. What else we have? A couple other things. So lots of stuff going on over at GameCritics.com. If you have not clicked there in a while, please come and check it out. Let's see what else. Before we get to the main part of the show here, just a quick heads up on the Patreon. All the costs of So Videogames and GameCritics.com, which I just mentioned, are paid for out of my pocket. And if you love the show, I would invite you to chip in and help me keep it all running. If everybody would chip in just $1 a month, just one, literally $1. If everybody kicked in just one, every expense would be covered, and if you can afford it, I would appreciate it. All right, Carlos, let's get to some games. Let's do some circle backs. I feel like we've got a pretty big one. For those that don't know, this is the part where we talk about games we've covered in past episodes. We're not going to get into all the details, although I think we might right now. But these are kind of quick updates to let everybody know what we think of games after we spend some more time with them. And I think the big one, the big dog, the big elephant in the room, the second elephant in the room besides Xbox.
There's two elephants in this room.
Multiple elephants. It's getting real fucking crowded in here, my friend. Neo 3. Let's come back to Neo 3. You've been playing it. You've got thoughts. I've been playing it. I've got thoughts. Let's kick it off. Let me just say where I'm at, and I think that'll be a better lead.
Yeah, because I wanted to actually ask that first. Yeah.
So just to kind of circle back on Neo 3, third person, Souls-like-ish sort of kind of action from Team Ninja, Japanese samurai, Oni kind of themed. I like it a lot. I am a big fan of the Neo series in general. Really like Neo 1, Neo 2. I liked Wolong as well. It's kind of an offshoot. Neo 3 is great. This is the open worlder. I've I've put some time into it, a lot of time. I don't, probably not as much time as you or Matt Leachman, who is in the Discord. What's up, dude?
Yeah, thanks for all your help.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I've been asking.
Leachman's the bro, dude. He's a good guy. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. So I like this game a lot, and I do want to roll credits on it, but I think given the size of this game, I believe it was Matt who said he finished the game at what, like 120 hours or 100 hours or something like that. Do you recall? Something like that? Which sounds about right, because this game is full of content. It's full of fun stuff to do, lots to explore. I like the combat. I like the world. I like everything about it, basically. So I want to go through it, but it's just such a beast of a game. I don't think I can like sit down for a week and just finish it. So I'm going to just end up chipping away at it over the course of the year. I think I got past the third major boss that was in the caves. I went further than that, and then I'm like, okay, I just got like the entire continent open to me, and that's really overwhelming. So I'm going to pause right here. I got to play some other things for review, but I'll come back to it. So I'm kind of putting it on just like a quick pause right now. I'll chip away, but that's where I'm at right now. So I like it a lot. But Carlos, I know you've been playing it as well, and you've got some further thoughts. So let's hear from you, man. Where did you leave off, or where are you at with this right now?
Yeah, I mean, I have so many thoughts. It would take a whole episode, but I'll make them shorter. We do have other games. I have a love-hate relationship with Dark Souls and Souls-like games. Okay, that's no secret. If you listen to this show or hear me in the Discord,
Confirmed.
And so when it works, I feel it feels fun, especially to commiserate with people. I think that's another special thing we never talk about with why Souls-like does well. Streaming, right? Really fun to watch people play.
Good community builder,
and then you feel part of something when you beat something.
for sure.
So I think that's a special thing that those other games I talked about maybe don't have, because you're not all trying to beat like the Black Knight, or whatever, and like in 4 moves or whatever it is. So I think there's that community there. Is the Black Knight a thing in the Souls?
Oh yeah, there's several Black Knights. Yeah,
there's many knights. So all that said, similar to Elden Ring, I've been having fun because it lets me do it at my own pace, and the world is massive. By the way, the world being the first age. Minor spoiler.
Is it even a spoiler? I don't think it's even a spoiler.
Okay, it's just like different time eras in this game,
and it just really doesn't matter. Like the storytelling.
Well, no,
so
but
bad.
it changes. Like there's like a huge map, and then there's another map.
Oh yeah,
like it's
but narratively, like you're not doing story spoilers, because like, dude, I played for like 5 hours before I even realized I was time traveling.
You're right. I think that's the number one thing that I don't understand. Like I would be more invested, I think, if I really was excited about the story.
Same.
I have no idea. I've skipped cutscenes.
Same.
Had a lot of fun. Hit walls, as you might have all known, and then I did hit that major wall, which was the boss in the caves. And again, I didn't know what I would do. And the short version is, I was doing a glitch. I was trying to get on top of a roof with this glitch, and in order to do that, I had to move fast. So I did the thing where I took off all my clothes.
As you do,
the armor, as you do. And I always would watch speedrunners and like really good players like do things naked, in these Souls-like games. Well, you know what I'm talking about.
In these Souls games.
In these Souls-like games.
Love watching these people do things naked.
Yeah, like what's the number one person who did like,
Oh, I don't know.
I'll handle her. What's it called?
Let me solo her. Yeah.
Let me solo her, right? Yeah. All these people have like just a loincloth, and I'm like, sure. But I did it for a glitch, and then after I left it like that, and I was fast, and I was like, I love being fast in this game because I'm a ninja and I'm dodging, and a perfect dodge gets you back like magic and stuff. So I started doing it, and I was like doing really well, and I was like, what? Is this how I have to play these games? Because, and you'd mentioned like you don't like getting one hit. Well, if you build your character well enough and you have some defenses on, you don't get one hit, but it does make you a little more squishy.
Yeah.
So I was like just owning the map this way. So now that's how I just play these games. So I found that from a glitch. So that said, I went back to that cave lady, and it took me like 3 or 4 tries, but then I beat her.
Okay.
And I was naked. And so I'm like, Bro, I think I found my way to play Souls-like games, which is really exciting because I am very good at dodging. Like, that's like my thing.
Yeah,
I'm a dodge person.
you are.
And so I basically dodged her a lot, perfect dodged her a lot, which got me my magic back.
Carlos Dodge Rodella.
Dodge Rodella. I would hit her at distance with magic, right? Because I have 3 different types of magic, which, by the way, pro tip, if you have 3 different types of magic in Neo, they kind of like all culminate and they can like really like damage over time. So anyways, I do that, and then I basically clear the map out, and I even beat like huge epic bosses on the map.
Yeah,
Like
there's
this
some big wandering bosses and stuff too.
Yeah, I beat him. I'm like, what's going on? So that's all that's to say is that I am now finally stuck at one more boss, and I think I'll probably figure it out. But for now, I'm a little stuck.
What's not working? Is it just he's too fast, or he
It's a
one
small
shots
room.
you, or what?
It's a small room.
Okay,
I'm a fast person. I like to move around. So at any point, he can get from one side of the room to the next level.
so you don't have
know
the
what I'm
freedom of
saying?
motion that's been keeping you alive so far.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I mean, I can. It's really like landing on those perfect dodges. And I tried to just block the other day, and I was like, "Oh no, you can't block his stuff."
Gotcha.
Because he's like just going through my blocks. So it literally is just kind of again the thing that I don't like about these games: finding his pattern.
Yeah,
like
figuring
a
out
math
whatever trick
problem.
works. Yeah, whatever gets them. Getcha. Yeah.
So I have a love-hate relationship. I really do, because like I can really hate it at times and want to uninstall it because it is such a like math problem. And then when they let me have fun and do things my way, just think about this real quick. The 2 differences: the cave boss, I had plenty of room, so I beat.
Yeah, it's a huge arena. Yeah.
Yeah, and I beat her the way I wanted to. This guy I can't, so they're like forcing me not to.
Right.
Which might be, I can hear you and everybody saying like, oh, well, it means that will probably give you a new skill set so that you can carry that onto in the game or whatever. But not if I stop playing the game.
Sure. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
I hear you for sure. And I think maybe that's the fundamental difference that we were kind of referring to earlier when we were talking about Crimson Desert Offline was like, because certain games are like that where it's like you can just basically do whatever. Like it makes me think of like Assassin's Creed Odyssey, right? I love that game so much,
I love that game.
Yeah, it's such a fucking great game, and you can do like anything you want. And basically, the game was set up to let you do whatever you want. Very rarely, almost never, was there a boss that you had to beat a certain way, right? It was usually just about just DPS and blocking and stuff like that. So you can make any build fit, but Souls-likes tend to like be very specific sometimes. I mean, there can be some general ones, but like, I mean, the genre is pretty well known for like, what's the trick to this guy? What's the weakness? What's the clutch thing you got to do to figure this person out? What's the exploit or something? So yeah, and that's the thing that's happened a lot of times where they'll change it up. Like they'll stick you in a small room if you're a dodging person, and then all of a sudden you can't rely on that, so you got to fall on some other kind of strategy. I mean, that's to be expected for sure. So it's tough, and I get what you're saying, because when you find something that works, you don't want to vary from it. But at the same time, it's a pretty common gotcha from these type of games. So I hear you.
I don't like it, and I will never like that part of it, especially because you heard people like Leachman and stuff like that, like respecking.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, we have to respec now. I'm like, well, that's not what I was playing the game for. I was playing the game to have this thing where I feel good about my character,
Well, I guess if you want to feel good, Souls games are not for that. So,
well, yeah, it's a bigger discussion. We'll maybe bring to another show, but suffice to say, I still am playing it. I still will go back to that boss. You have to put it down. These games, you put them down.
Yeah,
and you come back. But I will say this: you didn't know this. I was mad at Neo 3, so I put it aside and I downloaded Neo 1.
Neo 1, okay, all right.
Because I have it in my PlayStation, Plus account. Or
Gotcha.
And I had never played, I don't think. No, I did play 1 a little, and I played 2 a little, but I couldn't remember it.
Yeah, I mean, it was a while ago. Yeah.
It was a while ago. I like the beginning a lot better in Neo 1 because it's that classic, like you're in a jail cell, get out, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And and the first boss was like doable because they want you to get like. It had 2 forms, and I somehow was like fine.
Was it the boss where like is it inside a pirate ship? Is that where it is?
No. He's out on the. It's raining outside, and you're on like in the pillar of this tower.
It's been
and he's
too
like,
long.
he turns into a monster form.
Yeah.
Because this other guy shows up and like makes him stronger. But I beat both of them, and I was like, my second try.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait. And then it makes you feel good. You feel empowered. And I got to the overworld, and I did pretty well. Like I don't think I got stuck in that game. And I was like, and by the way, played it naked.
Like you or your character?
Oh, gee,
both?
how do you not know this by now?
I mean, honest question, dude. Just checking.
I am cold. I'm a cold person, by the way. I run cold. I would never play anything naked. No, but I used my trick from Neo 3 in Neo 1, and it worked.
Okay, so you've got a style that works for you in Neo.
Yeah. Right. Although that game, if you remember, like ninja comes later. You have to be a samurai in that game.
Yeah, Neo 3 is the only one that really like freely lets you switch back and forth between like ninja and samurai styles in general. With Neo 1 and Neo 2, you are like the vast majority of the time a samurai, and the trick there, instead of having two forms, is that you've got like high, medium, and low stance, which is also in Neo 3. But yeah, in those two games, you definitely you cannot avoid being samurai. You have to be that and master those things, and the ninja magic stuff comes later.
But fun fact, and this is maybe end of our Neo discussion, but in Neo 1, I never changed stances. I think those are silly. I will never do that. I never change stances. I'm just the middle stance, which is normal. And I act like a ninja. So I play the game as a ninja in Neo 1.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I build for the ninja, and I'm not building for the samurai.
I mean, that makes sense. I mean, there are a multitude of weapons in all of the Neo games. And I think that
I got the double swords in that.
Yeah. You can have faster or lighter stuff, or like the Tonfa or something like that lets you go really quickly. So you can spec to that like style, even though it's not an official style, but you can still basically do that. So that would make sense. Yeah, for sure.
So overall, I really like the franchise. I actually like it better. I didn't like Wolong, and I didn't like that first boss at all. But I really enjoy. I can say this now, the Neo world, like. And I think Neo 3 is the best version because it definitely lets you just go around the world and do shit for a while and explore and see some cool things and some funny things. I like the cat creatures a lot. And I like the magic, actually. And, yeah, if I wasn't getting stuck as much as I am, I would think it's like a 9 or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well,
but I get stuck and it pushes me way back down.
I hear you. I mean, I get it, dude, for sure. And I think this is a great evolution of the Neo series. I think the open world really does add a lot to it. I think it was generally a positive move. But I think, also just, knowing Team Ninja, they're fuckers, dude. Like, they're actual fuckers. And this is Neo was the very first Neo game, I approached it with great hesitation because they were known for fucking, Ninja Gaiden.
Ninja Gaiden Black.
Yeah, and all that stuff. And those guys were dicks. Like, Tomonobu Itagaki. Dick. He's a famous dick. I think he's dead now. Whatever. But fuck that guy. He was like an asshole. And, like, their whole philosophy was just, like, really repellent to me. And so when Neo 1 came out, I was like, I guess I'll give it a try, but like fuck those guys, because they're famous for like really difficult combat sections, super difficult, like even harder than a lot of Soul stuff, really cheap combat kind of things. And when Neo 1 came out and I saw that they like had really scaled back on that, I'm like, oh, okay, well these guys have made some serious changes. But they still and they have I want to give props to that, because I think that there's a wide gulf between Ninja Gaiden and Neo. I think those are two widely different things, appropriately so. But they still have their tendencies, and every once in a while they get a hair up their ass and they're like, you know what?
Yes.
Let's put a little Ninja Gaiden in here just to fuck people up. And
exactly. By the way, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say the worst example being the DLC of Neo 2, which Neo 2 was a great game and I loved it. That DLC was so fucking hard, dude. I was like, I don't think I even beat any of it. I'm like, this is 10 times harder than anything in the main game, including the final boss. I'm like, they just lapse back into their Ninja Gaiden shit, and I'm like, I'm out. So they still do it once in a while.
I'm glad you brought this up. This is the crux, I think, actually, of the problem I have with the game, not the genre, because if you're talking about, again, I beat Elden Ring. I always go back to that. Sure. I think the Elden Ring bosses are easier than the things I've been dealing with in Neo. because the stuff in Neo feels cheap. That's one of the words.
It can
right?
feel
Like,
cheap, that's for sure. It can feel cheap, yeah.
But this is the crux of what I'm having a problem with, and it's still part of the Neo discussion. It's Team Ninja. Because I went back to Rise of Ronin,
Oh, yeah.
which you remember that open world game?
I played some of that.
That one has a difficulty setting. I put it on easy. I was having a fun time with it. It's just too overwhelming. You know, it's like Ubisoft.
Yeah.
But even then, on casual, I have all the health in the world. I went back just to see. They did a cheap thing and they killed me.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Even an open world game that's supposed to be on casual setting, it's still they still want to kill you in like a bad, weird way. So here's what it is. It's cheap / Twitch gaming / being a dick. So that's what it really is, comes down to. Because when you have a character that is AI, okay, I'm sorry, but that's what it is, an NPC that has a program in it that says, I can go as fast as I want, right?
Yeah.
It has no slowdown. It has no human error.
Right.
It just does it. It's a robot. And then they build that to be like, hey, we're going to go as fast as we can to hit you.
It's super frustrating. Yeah. It's really frustrating.
Perfect example is a video I was going to upload to Discord. Everybody joined the Discord. I was just doing some other thing, and they had a ninja show up. Ninja, Ninja guy, Team Ninja.
Yep.
The ninjas are like OP.
Yeah.
And they move at lightning speed. And this is a regular world. Like I'm like, level whatever. And it's just one little teeny ninja, and he killed me because he like moved at light speed and shot all these like, shurikens and stuff. So it's that same thing. It's just being a dick.
You got to go in shields up with Team Ninja. They've been on good behavior for a long time, but they surprise you every once in a while. They get you. You let your guard down, and then they fuck you sideways. They're like, oh, here's our old shit. Hope you like some of this stuff. So I hear you, man. I hear you. I have kind of a love-hate with them, mostly love, but when they bust out those cheap bosses, it comes back to hate pretty quick. So I get you.
It does also make me want to beat it that much more, though. You know what I mean? I'm like, fuck you, dude. Because it's like I feel like I'm fighting the developers. That's what it is.
Yeah, you are.
The game is me fighting the developers, which is wild.
Well, you need to. Well, let me know how this personal journey goes, and
I will.
We'll circle back.
One more update. Yeah.
Sorry, say again. You have one more update. What?
No, I said we'll come back.
Oh yeah,
for
we
an
will.
update.
We will. Yeah. Sorry.
Let's move on.
Okay, so quickly, let me get to Showgunners. Another circle back. I talked about this for the first time last week. This is a coming out of nowhere tactical turn-based, kind of like vaguely XCOM style thing about a lady. Her name is Scarlet, and she's in a Running Man type of scenario. This is like a deadly game show, just like the Running Man, where she's in it to win it. There's money and prizes. She's got a backstory, which I think is really well told. And she goes through these like dilapidated cities that have been turned into game show arenas, turn-based. And so at first you just have yourself, and then you find one other person you team up with. He's kind of like a hacker type dude. And then as the game goes on, you get more and more teammates as you go. I think this is a really good game. It came out, I think, 2 years ago from a studio. I think it's called Artificer, I believe. I'm not sure where they're from. I'm not very familiar with their work. I know they've done Sumerian 6, which is another XCOM style game, which I'm very excited about, but it's currently PC only, waiting for it to come to console. But this one came out 2 years ago. Didn't hear anything about it. It just came out now. Didn't hear anything about it. PR sent me a code. Thank you very much. And I got to say, this game has been a load of fun. I think the character design is really good. Everybody that joins, well, almost everybody that joins you, I think is pretty cool. There's one guy where I'm like, okay, whatever. I don't care about you. But the rest of the team is pretty cool. I think the dialogue is handled just right. There's like a little bit of dialogue between missions. The dialogue you get is pretty substantial, and you can choose to take it or leave it if you wish. So I think that's a great way to handle it in a scenario like this. I think the action so far has been great, because when you're doing the turn-based combat, I want to say it's a little bit on the simple side. And I don't mean that to be, a negative, because you've got to have a wide range of things. Not everything has to be like the craziest, most complicated thing. But I think it's fairly simple. It's easy to approach, but I think it works really well. Like, they have done a great job at like making it all work, having the tactics work together, having your teamwork work together, and just like the arenas that you're in, I think are all pretty interesting, going through like sewers and irradiated places and like dilapidated like building tenements and stuff. It all looks great. And I think there's also an interesting aspect to this, because when you're not in combat, you're walking around like freely, which is pretty unusual for the genre. So you can explore things, you find hidden treasure chests, there's lots of puzzles, and the puzzles are all good. Like, they're pretty good. They're for the most part, they are fairly simple. Again, not to be negative, but like simple as in I can solve this and have fun, but I don't need to go to GameFAQs or look for a YouTube solution because I can figure it out 99% of the time. And it really gives the world more depth. Like you're kind of changing it up. Sometimes there's a little trap you got to avoid. Then you do some combat. Then you're searching for some treasure. Then you get a little bit of story. I think the pacing of it is really good. I will say the main campaign, great pace also. You're constantly getting new abilities or new teammates. New enemies are revealed. Basically, like, I mean, almost once a stage every time you're going to do something. And some of it is optional as well. So you can kind of pace yourself a little bit. But by the time I got to the end of the game and I was like kind of getting ready to be done with it, like the game was also basically almost over. So I feel like that's exactly the...
Oh, it's perfect.
Yeah, it's the perfect arc you want to get on. So I think that's great. I think the voices are great. Everything about it is done. Now, I will say, you know, there could be a little more depth. So, for example, there could be maybe more choices in the campaign. There could be a little bit of a wider skill tree. So maybe like when you're building up a character. So how it is right now, by the time you get to the end of the game, every character has every ability, which is not bad. I'm not mad about it. But, you know, there could be like, do you want to build this guy as a quick light guy, or do you want to build him as a heavier tank guy? Like having a little bit of, I mean, at least like 2 branches for each character would give it some replay and make you be a little bit more judicious with your skill points, because basically everybody's just like maxed out. I mean, again, not mad about it, but just like places to improve. A couple more enemy types, maybe a couple more things like with the characters and stuff, more story bits maybe perhaps. But it's been really great. I think the integration of puzzle and gameplay has been really great. I think that some of the actual combat arenas are interesting. They've got weird little twists that pop up. They do the story integration. It's just really great. Nothing about this game is honestly really breaking new ground at all. Like when you look at all the elements, you know, they're just solid and you've seen them before. But this is like everything here is done exactly right. So it's like, I said this before, but it's like a cheeseburger, right? Like a cheeseburger is not haute cuisine. Like you're not going to go to a 3-star Michelin restaurant and order a cheeseburger, right? But when you get a great bun and you got some good sauce on there, the patty's cooked right, you got fresh onion on there, you know, it's done really well. And it's not surprising or, I mean, it's not innovative. I mean, cheeseburger, but when it's done well, it's fucking good, right?
Dude, there's a perfect kind of through line for the show because Marlow Briggs.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly.
Like it just can be fun. Fun can be fun.
Exactly.
And I'm looking at the screenshots and it looks just fun. And I'm thinking about that movie, The Running Man.
The Running Man. Yeah, exactly.
The new version of it. And so, yeah, it just seems fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's not Shakespeare. It's not, you know, revolutionary, but everything it does really well. And I think it's nailed perfectly. So I will say also, one thing that I think is cool is that when you play it on console, they give you the deluxe version, or maybe I just got the deluxe version. It comes with a DLC. And so I will say as a public service announcement, PSA, don't play the DLC. It's not worth playing. It's cool because you get to the final area, and right before you get to the final boss, they're like, yo, here's a thing over here that we can go check out. We should probably get some guns and experience. That would be kind of cool if we did that. Would you like to play the DLC now, right before you roll credits? And I'm like, okay, yeah, let's do that. Like, I think they went try hard on it, and they wanted to make it feel like it was worth your while. This must have come out, you know, a good time after the main game had come out. It's just a slog. Like, you don't really get anything that's worthwhile. They don't add any good story to it. And all the arenas you fight in the DLC, oh, dude, way too many guys. It's just like painful. It's painful and tedious.
Yeah.
It feels like they didn't really nail that. So if you're going to play this game, and I think you should, if you like XCOM, turn-based tactics, anything like that, this game is absolutely 100% worth playing. Just skip the DLC. This DLC is not worth your time and effort, and just go straight to the main battle. So I think in general, this is like the most delicious fucking tactics cheeseburger I've played, where it's not anything surprising, but goddamn it, it's really, really good, and I like it a lot. So this is my official review. I am currently in the middle of the final battle of the game, so I'm going to finish it as soon as I get this podcast, and then I will have seen everything, so I feel qualified to give it a rating. And I gave Showgunners, okay, I feel like it earns an 8 because that's like what's on the table here, but I like it so much and I really want to support them, and I really applaud that they didn't bite off more than they can chew. They were very judicious about their choices. They really did the most of what they had, and I think they were just really smart about design, so I want to give them a +5 just because. So 8.5. 8.5 yep. Because I can. 8.5 out of 10.
I could hear in your voice that was an 8.5.
8.5. I love Showgunners. It's so fun.
Nice.
So good. So good. So there you go. Congratulations, Showgunners. 8.5. Had a great time with it. Good stuff.
Now I want a hamburger so
I
bad.
fucking do too. I want a hamburger and I want some jalapeno poppers is what I
My
want.
goodness. It's been a long time since I had a hamburger, like a good one too.
Man. All right.
Anyways, moving on for games.
Moving. Okay. Anything else in the circle back? Or are you good, Carlos?
No, but I forgot to mention that I did play some games from Next Fest. But maybe like the next podcast I'll talk about
the next show for Next Fest.
I guess the next Fest, because as you know, there's like 8,000 games in Next Fest.
That's fine.
But I did play a bunch of them, and I'll bring some to the show.
Well, why don't you give us like your top one or two right now? I think that would be good. Just a quickie.
Okay, I'll give you one because I did write it down. I'll give you one. I don't know how you say it, but it's called Bylina. So Bylina. Bylina.
I guess. Sure.
It's based on Slavic folklore, which I'm actually a huge fan of.
I kind of am too. I think I'm becoming.
I think we both are.
Yeah, I think I am.
If you listen to this show, and it's like a top-down action adventure, but like Diablo-like, not like a ton of enemies, but more like just like an adventure game. You know, that 3/4 style top-down view.
Yeah.
Hack and slash and magic and abilities, but it's really, it feels like you're a warrior, just like a warrior dude. Doing dodges. The dodge feels great. The combat kind of feels physicsy a little bit, like when you hit an enemy, it goes flying, you know? So it just feels fun to play, and I was brought in by that. And then they said it's about the human soul in a way, and the different creatures you meet are like talking about soul and stuff like that, and emotion and anxiety, and I don't know, a bunch of like interesting, deeper meaning that seems to be later in the game. But it's just a demo, and then I just really enjoyed the demo. And I was like, okay, I want to buy it. I want this game. So I thought I'd mention that.
Yeah, right on. Any others real quick you want to mention?
Well, I'm going to mention one for you.
Okay, do it.
I didn't play it, but Grime 2 was supposedly
a
demo.
Man. I love Grime, the first one. That
You
was so
love
good.
Grime.
That was such a great game.
So go check it. It's probably still available. Oh, you don't do PC.
I don't do PC. I don't do demos. I don't have the time.
So
for that.
Grime 2, for the people who liked Brad's review of Grime, and you do play PC, Grime 2 demo, I guess.
That's
is
just
out
an
for
instant
that.
buy for me. If I don't get a code, I'm just going to buy that because Grime 1 was
Yeah.
fucking superb. That was just an excellent experience. So, all right, good. Excellent. Okay.
That's it. There's a million other games, but I just thought Bylina because it seems really fun, and I played the demo and I love it.
All right. Let me talk for a second here in the new game section. Just a quick heads up. I don't have a lot to say about it because I've actually not really had enough time to play it, but UFO 50, which a lot of people loved on PC. I heard endless praise for UFO 50. It's finally on the Switch. Maybe this is old news to some people, but I didn't really realize it. I was talking in the Discord, the Soviet Games Discord, join it, talking to a friend of the show, Jeremiah Bratton, who's also been on the show several times, and he was like, oh, FYI, it's on Switch. And I'm like, oh, I had literally no idea. And the Switch store was so drowning in fucking cheap hentai games and shovelware AI shit. It was like a mess, so I had to search for it, found it, bought it, downloaded, and I just was really tired, and I had to go to bed. So I didn't really play it.
Anticlimactic.
Yeah, I'm sorry. But apparently it's got like 50 individual games, which was kind of like put together by several different developers. And I believe the person behind it was the guy that did Spelunky, right? Is it Derek Yu? Is that correct?
Maybe. I can't remember. I thought it was a little team that did it.
I mean, he was like, it was like his idea, or he was like maybe the mastermind of it. But I know there's like many teams who did individual games, and it was like that kind of a thing is my understanding. If I'm wrong, someone please correct me. But anyway, just saying that to just like heads up, it's on the Switch now. Very excited about it. Can't wait to crack into it. So just FYI on that.
And you're right. It's Derek from Spelunky, and also Eric from Downwell.
Oh
on it
man,
as well.
Downwell, what a game!
Yeah.
Downwell's killer. Jesus Christ, Downwell.
UFO 50 is good. I've heard a lot of good things about it, and it came out a little while ago, and like you said, just recently on the Switch, maybe, or was on. I don't know when it came out.
Yeah, like last year for PC, and as far as I know, just like last week for the Switch right now. So
okay,
yeah,
I just like the idea of like they built a world.
Yeah.
Around.
Yeah.
It's like a world of games, and that's really cool.
Super cool. All right, let me talk for another minute here about Lost in Space, the first adventure. Carlos, have you ever seen Lost in Space, the original, or maybe even the remake?
You made me watch it. Wait, the original or the new show?
Well, either.
Okay, you made me watch the new show.
And you didn't care for it, did you?
I did not care for it.
Okay.
And also, the original show is like from the 60s.
It is from the 60s. Have you seen that one?
I watched like a episode maybe, and I was
Okay,
like,
okay.
I can't. But yeah,
All right, let's travel the Wayback Machine. So Lost in Space, originally filmed in black and white. I think it was shot in like the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s, about a family who go into space. They're a family of astronauts, and they have a saboteur on board that they don't know about. The ship gets in space, the saboteur does his saboteuring, and then they spiral off and get lost in the galaxy, and then the rest of the show is about them trying to get back home. In the 60s, it was like camp. It was like cheesier original Star Trek, where like, the alien was like a beach ball with googly eyes glued onto it, or like a guy in a fursuit or something like that. Really cheesy, but like really cool in the nostalgia cheesy way. When I was a kid, I watched this on TV. I was watching reruns, and I loved it. It was so great. And like, super shout out to the guy who played Dr. Smith. He had the most over the top, like aggressively queer when it wasn't okay to be queer back in the day. Like when people were like, "Oh, he's not gay. He's just dramatic or whatever." When people were like in the closet still and everything, he was like the most flaming gay guy on TV, and I loved him because he was just like so over the top with his voice and his acting. He kind of like would do these like fainting spells and stuff. It was just like so fucking entertaining. I love Dr. Smith on the show so much. They remade it on Netflix. I think the Netflix show, it's great. You didn't care for it, Carlos. I totally respect that. The family loved it. We thought it was really, really well done. So check out that. But this game, Lost in Space, The First Adventure, this is based on the 60s series. So like if you're familiar with that, that's what it's about. They've got some voice actors, and I don't think any of them are the original because that was like from a long time ago. But they do a great job of coming close, and I think it's respectably close. Even Dr. Smith kind of sounds like the Dr. Smith that I like. That was really cool, nostalgia-wise. It is a point-and-click adventure in the most point-and-click fucking sense, and it's like old-school point-and-click, which, unfortunately, I fucking despise.
yeah, we both don't like that.
Do not like it. I will say it looks great. The graphics are awesome for a point-and-click. It looks very good. You can kind of vaguely tell who the characters are supposed to be. It's not photorealistic or anything. But you can kind of see if you know who the cast is. You're like, okay, this is that person, this is that person. That's fine. Voices are pretty close. It looks really nice and cartoony and great. But the gameplay is just like, oh, bro, here's how bad it is. Okay, here's how bad it is. I watched the opening cutscene. I'm on board. I'm getting excited. This all looks good. One of the main characters, Will Robinson, who maybe is Danger Will Robinson of that meme, if you know that
Will
meme.
Robinson,
Yeah, he gets trapped in a cave, and it's literally a one room small cave. You can almost get the entire cave on the screen at one time, and he's trapped and he's got to get his way out. This is your first point and click exercise. I got so fucking stuck in that fucking cave, dude. Literally the first 5 minutes of the game, the first challenge, the first puzzle, I got so stuck. I had to look at a walkthrough on YouTube because I could not figure it out. I was like, and it's like that whole click everything, and then also, try to randomly click on things in the environment, and then take an item and randomly put it on things in the environment, and then take two random things from your inventory and try to match them together and see if anything happens. And the logic was just like not there. It was like, get this thing and melt this rock and put it in a bowl and chill it down and then put it on this other thing and then shine a light on it.
Can I say something about that real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think why you and I specifically, of the age we are, don't like it, and also just as an asterisk for everybody else, the point and click adventure stuff happened back in the day because of like limits to game development. Yeah. And it was like, oh, well, we can like make two things go together, and that's a puzzle because we can't like do it physics wise, or, we can't do it like the world isn't like, believable enough. So I think a lot of that is why I'm over that, because it was created back in the day for like to fix a technical solution maybe.
Yeah. You've got to have a very specific brain in order to do these puzzles. And if you don't have the brain, you're fucked. Like you just can't figure it out. And so that was really unfortunate because I really, really want to like this game a lot. I'm on board nostalgia-wise, the theming, it looks great, love the voices. It's got me emotionally, right? Like I'm here for it. But god damn it, these fucking puzzles, dude. So it took me way, way too long to get past the very first room. And again, I am famously bad at these kind of games. I like the new style of point and click, not the old style. And this is definitely like an old style. So those are a weakness of mine. I'm not great at them. So I'll put some more time into it. But I had to use a walkthrough for puzzle 1. If I have to use a walkthrough for puzzle 2, then I think I'm probably out because I don't enjoy looking at a walkthrough and following them step by step to quote unquote play a game. You know what I mean? So
yep.
All right, so there's Lost in Space, the first adventure. I'll circle back on that one. And now over to you, Carlos. You are bringing a secret game to the show, which you have not told me. Secret game. So I'm curious to hear what it is. I have no idea. What you got?
It's such a perfect segue. Our show really comes together like Kismet or something. I don't know.
Okay.
It really does. Every time. We got something special here, Brad. We got a little something special.
Something special. Got something special.
Because you just talked about puzzles, and I'm going to talk a lot about puzzles right now.
Uh-oh.
Because I started playing Resident Evil Requiem.
What? What?
What?
Oh, I'm having a breakdown. Oh, it does not compute. Does not compute, Carlos.
Why are you doing this?
What is going on?
Where's the real Carlos? You've replaced him.
What is happening? Oh my god! I never in a million years would have thought you'd play that game. What the hell? What the hell?
There's
dude?
a couple reasons. I'll tell you why. One, I'm waiting for Crimson Desert, and the only other game that has my attention is Neo 3, and that game can exhaust me.
Sure. Getcha.
So as I put it aside, and there's lots of little games, but as you know, and the world knows who listen to the podcast, I play every game. So I probably played most of the games, people would recommend me. So I kind of had a void there of like, what do I play? Then I watched Kind of Funny, who I still watch Greg and his team, play games, and they are playing it. And there's a little bit of FOMO there, like people are playing it right now.
It's of the moment, the zeitgeist.
Of the moment. And the other piece is, if I get a funny thing that happens, I can make it a glitch to the ground video. So that came to my mind. But also, I just wanted to give it a fair shot again because I've been, down on Resident Evil and just those, again, puzzles and things that it does in its world. And then also graphics. It looked really amazing. And it showed like a part where like they're not in an open world, but they're in like a city.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, it'd be fun to see how they do cities, So I just thought I'd give it a shot.
Man, you could knock me down with a feather right now, dude. I would never in a million years have thought you would jump into that. Okay, so honestly, I don't know anything about it. I haven't really been watching any trailers or anything, so fill me in. I don't know shit about this.
Well, to you first, did you play... I had a problem with 7, I remember that. But you played all of these games?
I believe I have played all of the Resident Evil games up until now, except for like those weird mobile ones or whatever. I mean, but like all the mainline, like the one where it was like the creepy family in the swamp house. I played that one, and then I also
the 7.
That was 7, and then 8 was the one where you're in the village with Leon. I played that one too with the lady. That sexy ass lady who turns out to be a monster.
Oh, that's right. I played that a little bit too because the sexy ass lady.
Yeah. So, I think I am caught up on all the mainline Resident Evils anyway, but not this one. Yeah.
I think so. 7, I had a problem with the because I'm very sensitive to horror and gore and stuff, and so, but I do like a good creepy game. That's why I go towards Silent Hill more.
Yeah.
Even though they both share the kind of world of like unbelievable things happening. And you just accept it,
Totally.
Like, and puzzles that are just weird. But I think 7, I had a problem with like, people just eating people's arms and weird stuff. And then, and 8, I didn't like because again, it was kind of really relying on those old school things. I don't know why I didn't like 8 as much. But what's really cool about 9 and Requiem is that you play as the 2 characters. So you play as one woman who's an FBI agent. And then Leon.
Who is the lady? Is she a new lady?
Yeah, new lady.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. Gail? Crystal? Gosh,
I don't know.
damn
I have not read anything. I was going to go into it cold, so I don't know anything about it, honestly.
Oh, but I just played it for like 2 hours. Hold on. Resident Evil Requiem. I want to get her name right. She's a very cool character. And basically, the two characters operate differently. So the first, Grace,
okay.
So she's an FBI agent. She's nervous. She had a really negative thing happen to her in her past. I won't spoil anything. And so she's kind of like timid in a way, and that character is kind of like weaker in this setting, at least in the beginning. And then Leon's the badass who comes in his car and has knives and just kicks butt. Right? He's doing roundhouse kicks and stuff like that. So you play as both of them, and that dichotomy is actually really fun. And I think maybe what I was feeling like I'm missing, I don't know. I think that pairing is really fun. So you start as her, and you're just kind of like exploring, and then you do a little bit of puzzle solving, not too much in the beginning, and a little bit of action, and then you switch to him, and then you just kick butt.
Okay, but you're not like actively switching between them. Like they're kind
No,
of
no,
like
no.
separate.
It's the story.
Okay,
It's the story.
Gotcha.
And what they do masterfully, if I might say, is they switch it back at key points. And so, like, you might see Grace get dragged away, let's say, not saying any spoiler, and then now you jump to Leon, and it's like around the same time, right? But where he is.
Gotcha.
And that was done so well the few times I've seen it. And then maybe they'll interact in some way, whatever. And so it's just, I like the dichotomy a lot. And even though Grace is weaker, in quotes, she still at some point can get a gun, right? Like she still can fight. So I want to make that clear because I feel like in the trailers it makes it sound like she's just like, going to get hit at any time. And I put it on like casual. So like you can get chomped on a bunch by zombies and you're fine, So I think that she's not super weak and she can fight and she can get weapons. And then just Leon's like overpowered, he's like super strong.
So a good like pacing back and forth. Like you feel
I think
scared and go slow with Grace, and then when they've pushed you far enough, you switch to Leon, you let off some steam, fuck some dudes up, and then switch back. That's cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's really cool, and I haven't had that because I feel like every character in Resident Evil, I feel like I'm in trouble. Like I'm going to be in trouble. Yes. I ran out of ammo. I'm screwed.
That's like the tagline of the series: Resident Evil, you're in trouble. Yes,
you're in trouble. And then But puzzles.
Yes.
That's the tagline of the shows, right? And so I started finally bumping up against. I think I played 2 hours, which is a lot for me. I bumped up against a lot of these things where it goes, here's not open world, but open section.
Yeah.
Go explore, find a bunch of stuff. This number, you're going to need it for a fucking passcode.
Of course.
Yeah. You had a pencil. You found a pencil. So you had to like rub the pencil on a piece of paper to get like a code. And I'm like, you fucking come on with a pencil.
All right.
So
it's like every detective show since ever. Yes. Okay.
So what's weird, and this is my positive review, is even though that stuff started showing up, for some reason this time, it felt comfortable. I don't know why, but it was like, and I think I do know why. Kind of funny. Some other people were talking about it as well on the podcast, and they were saying when we had these games that are these massive open worlds and Ubisofts of the world, where there's a million markers, right? And we just feel overwhelmed. It's nice to go back to something that isn't that. And I think that's what's good about this. It's a small area. I know what to do. If I can't find something, I just walk around enough.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I will find the stupid amethyst piece, which I think is in this game. I think there is an amethyst
I fully
piece.
believe it, dude. I do.
Yeah. And then I'll figure it out after a while. Like I'm not getting stuck. And then there's an action fun thing, an adventure, like, a thing I have to do or fight monsters. And some of the monsters are like Silent Hill monsters, like really fun. Mm-hmm. I will say one minor spoiler. There's one guy who's like super, super big. And so him coming down the hallway is funny because he's like the Marshmallow Man, where it's like he can't even fit through.
Like squishing his way through the hallway or
yeah,
something?
he's squishing his way through. And I was just laughing at him. Like I wasn't as afraid of him,
Interesting.
It's really kind of fun. I think it's the most fun I've had with these games. Well, isn't that interesting?
That's really positive. I kind of felt the same way about Resident Evil 8. Not 7. 7 was scary, and I didn't like that very much.
7 was scary too.
7 was scary. But 8, I'm not big on scary games in general, but I do play Resident Evil, long history with the series, et cetera, like many people do. And I found that once I got past, like, the opening bits, like, there was a lot of just fun to be, like, old school kind of fun, like running around, shooting guys, doing puzzles. Like, I mean, kind of like you said, it was familiar and it wasn't frightening, like, for the majority of the time. And that's fine. I didn't really want it to be. But, like, some jump scares and some goopy monsters and just kind of doing some action. And that's A-okay. So, like, if this kind of sounds like maybe a throwback a little bit to Resident Evil 2 with the two characters and stuff. And I think that's a great approach, a really fun approach. Mm-hmm. So, sounds like a win. I definitely would like to play this at some point this year. So, we'll see if we get a code or maybe I'll just pick it up at some point. But, yeah, you seem pretty up on it.
I am. I'll say one negative now that you're just talking about it. The thing that I don't like that they do, and I think it feels out of place. And so mark this down. The beginning of the game is very emotional. They're trying to get emotional with this woman and her past. Uh-huh. And it's really horrific. Like they show it and it's like, they do that thing where they'll go to gore and you're like, did you really need to do that? You know?
Yeah.
Like someone gets stabbed, like in the face or something. You're like, what? Really? Right away? So I say the two negatives are, I think they go to gore in a weird way when they don't need to at all.
Okay.
Because this game is fun. So I think they front loaded this story with a bunch of like rough stuff. And I'm like, okay. And I think 8 was the one of the ones you lose your hand.
Yeah, I think that was 8. Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't like this.
Or no, wait, was it no, it was 7?
It might be 7.
Maybe 7.
Either way, it like shows it in detail. And I know it's like video gamey graphics, but it's like, you have to think of yourself as this character now, you know, like going through this thing, and anything that has anything to do with torture, I don't like. So I think that's my con is that they did that in the beginning of this game, and I was like, what are you doing? But the further con is it doesn't make sense with the rest of the world because as soon as I get in, there's hokey puzzles, right?
Yeah.
Which don't make any sense. The sun and the moon line up, and then and there's a elephant head, and then it feels more fun because Leon's, doing quips and it's actiony. So I just think that there's a bad mix when it comes to what they want to do with like emotion and gore, and then like the game that feels fun to me.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Resident Evil can do some crazy tonal shifts. I mean, there can be some really super serious stuff.
Tonal shifts. You said it better than I did.
Goofy, weird shit. I mean, like they had a character that was a friggin' block of tofu, for example, and that was like really fucking weird and bizarre and goofy. But then they also have these really emotional moments where someone's dad turns into a monster and the girl's crying. I mean, they do.
Yeah.
They do that up and down stuff all the time, and I think they do sometimes struggle with finding the right tone or maintaining the right tone. But I mean, I don't know. I guess that's just Resident Evil, man.
It just is. It's just weird that because as games evolve, and I don't really want to say evolve because fun is fun, but you start expecting, I don't want to say, but like a more believable world at times,
Yeah.
And so I think that's the only thing that bumps up against it. I'm kind of like talking out of both sides of my ass because I like it a lot and I'm having fun, because it is old school. But then when I like it shined on like the idea of emotion or story, I go, well, come on.
Well, that's an interesting point, right? I think you bring up a good point because you got to set expectations, and I think that's an issue I have with a lot of games actually, is where like the expectation that is set does not match what the reality is, and so if you're going to go for those emotional moments, then I think it is perfectly reasonable to expect like a more mature or quote unquote realistic approach. But then you're like got 19 different sets of keys and a chess puzzle and a gem or whatever, and then it's like, okay, well, don't lean into. It's weird to go from, hey, I care about you and I don't want you to die, to, oh no, I've got the golden fist that goes on the 6-fingered monkey thing, and I got it. Like, those things don't really go together. So
yeah,
I hear what you're saying.
And yeah, it's so frustrating because it really is an intense thing with what happens to her in the beginning. And it just goes away. I mean, I'm sure they're going to bring it back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure.
Here's not a spoiler because I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm sure like someone whose dad is coming back, right? Or, like as a monster figure,
Sure,
and you're
of
like
course.
have to battle them at the end and like crying or something.
It's the only way to work through your trauma, Carlos.
Oh yeah, is to have them come back as a monster.
Yeah, and then kill them.
And then kill them, yeah, while crying.
All right.
Anyways, that's my thing. I mean, like right now it's in my 8 category. Like I feel like it's still really fun, and I don't normally have like a ton of fun with these games. So
well, that is a big vote of confidence, and if you're into it, probably a pretty good chance I'll like it too. So keep us posted, fill me in how it goes, and maybe I'll get my hands on it at some point. So all right, cool. Resident Evil Requiem.
Check it out.
All right, last game of the show. Carmageddon Rogue Shift. Now, I have heard of Carmageddon, but I don't think I've ever played a Carmageddon before. You have any history with this series, Carlos? Apparently it's pretty big in the 90s.
I mean, you said it, and it's from the 90s, so I'm very confused. It's a 90s game, just so you know. You might be looking at a new game.
No, it is a brand new game, but this IP...
Carmageddon came out in 1997, just for our listeners.
Yeah, but Rogue Shift just came out like a week ago. Carmageddon Rogue Shift.
Yeah, February 6th, 2026. I'm looking at it now. By 34 Big Things.
Yes.
Is the developer.
Which is a weird name.
Yeah. So did they like buy the license to it?
I guess. I mean, I've heard of Carmageddon, and I had some people who had a lot of memories of it from the 90s. But it was never, I mean, for me, like car combat in the 90s was Twisted Metal. It wasn't really Carmageddon for me. I guess they were contemporaries. Were you a Twisted Metal guy, or were you?
I was both, but I played Carmageddon because, back then it was like, wait, you can run someone over? Oh no. Like that's, it was like scandalous. Yeah. Twisted Metal was 2023, by the way. And I'm looking it up now.
I mean,
Carmageddon's 1997.
no, but the original Twisted Metal, that was back in the day. The original first Twisted Metal.
Oh wait, Twisted Metal release date. Why did I say
That was
2023?
like on what, PlayStation 1?
Twisted Metal? Oh, they're looking at the TV show.
Yeah, not
PS1.
not the Anthony Mackie TV show.
1995. Okay, so they're both about the same time.
Yeah, that's what I figured. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So anyway, if anybody has any memories of Carmageddon, this is the same IP, brand new developer, brand new thing, and it now has roguelike elements. They say it in the title, Rogue Shift. It is a shift towards roguelike. This is a driving game, car combat game, where you have your Mad Max style vehicle with spiky bits and guns mounted to it, very much like Twisted Metal as well. You're in some kind of tournament. I don't think it's really well explained, but you're in it, and I guess you don't need more explanation than that. You drive around these tracks, and there are zombies wandering the tracks because reasons, and so you hit the zombies just because, and then you jump off ramps and shoot other people, and you try to come in first place in general. The weird things about this game, each car only has one weapon, which is really strange to me. That feels weird, and you have extremely limited ammo. You're not really just like blasting all the time. You're being pretty judicious with it. It almost feels like you're using power-ups like in a Mario Kart kind of a thing. But like a little bit more limited than that even. And then you usually have about 10 competitors on the track. You can blow up cars, and you would think that if you blow up cars, you would eliminate the competition. Not so. You blow up, for example, like let's say you're on a track with 10 cars. You blow up 2 cars. That's 8 cars left. As soon as you blow them up, 2 more show up, and you got 10 cars again. I'm like, what is the point of that? I don't understand what that even is. So you drive around. I will say the camera is set so fucking low that it is nauseating. It is like you can move the camera up, but you have to hold it. It doesn't stay where you leave it, and you cannot adjust it in the settings. And so the camera is basically like behind the car, and it made me want to fucking hurl, and it was really hard to see where I was going. I needed more of a tilt to the camera, and they just don't want to let you do it unless you keep your finger on the fucking stick the entire time, which is exhausting. So that sucks.
Ugh.
It's really weird. I don't know why they put the camera so low. It is bizarre how low it is.
Bizarre.
Yeah.
It's a fucking racing game.
It's strange. And so you go into an event, you finish the event, and then you get like one of those maps that you do like in basically every roguelike today, where like you look at a map, there's nodes, and you can choose your path. Maybe one thing will be like a heal, one thing will be a battle, like an easy battle, one thing will be a hard battle, or maybe one thing will be like a garage where you can fix up your car. And so you kind of choose these nodes as you go. You do a couple nodes, you fight a boss battle at the end, and then you keep going. So I think in general, this is like a fine idea. There's like 1,000 roguelikes that have followed this template, and it's working fine. But Carmageddon is just so fucking boring and flat and empty. Like it doesn't feel good to play because the handling is really weird. It's very easy to turn around and do a UE when you don't want to, which sucks. I think it's hard to see where you're going because the camera is so low, and the tracks I think are just kind of like blurry and kind of just vague, and they don't look very good. I think it's hard to tell where you're going. And the combat itself is really dull. Like, you have one weapon. So like you start off the car with like a machine gun, and then that's all you get until you like stop at a shop at a different node and then change your weapon maybe. But then again, the ammo is really limited. It doesn't feel like the octane is very high on this. Like you're kind of just driving around most of the time. You blow up somebody, so what? Somebody else comes back in, rejoins the race. It doesn't feel like you've accomplished anything. And all the races feel generally the same. Sometimes you have to finish top 3. Sometimes you have to finish first place, but it's not really that different. And you can't even do what the good roguelikes do and get like a crazy OP build because all the stuff is just pretty standard. It's like, yeah, your machine gun does like 15% more damage, or you can take 5% more damage with the shield. Like you're not getting like wild, oh, I'm invincible now. Look at this. I got these things that synergize and nobody can kill me. And that's amazing when that happens. It's just really straightforward, and everything feels very samey and generic and bland, and just no excitement here at all. Nothing to make it stand out. There's no visual signature to these cars. There's no visual signature to this game. It just seems like if you've bought off the shelf Unity assets and just like made a game out of it, that's what it feels like. It feels so generic and boring. I just like
it. It looks very dark, by the way, too.
It's really dark.
Always nighttime.
It's almost always nighttime. Everything is just dark and bland. Like there's no characters to attach to. Like Twisted Metal, you'd have like that fucking ice cream guy clown, or like the guy that was the axle between the 2 wheels, or the crazy lady. Like there's nothing here to really attach to. It just seems like car combat game. Like, and it comes in a generic white wrapper when you go to the grocery store. You know what I mean?
Well, I have something to say because I'm glad you brought this up.
Okay, go ahead.
This sounds like it's not a good review for this particular version.
Definitely not.
And I will say that I wanted to know the original developers of Carmageddon. So I was listening as well as doing some
Okay,
research.
what's the research say?
So Patrick Buckland is one of the people who worked on the original Carmageddon.
That fucking guy.
I know.
I have no
with
idea who
Neil,
that is.
with Neil Barden as well. But Patrick kept doing games for a while, and I guess he created Stainless Software. And check this shit out, brah.
Okay.
He kept making Carmageddon games, and his last one is now in my cart on my PlayStation.
What?
It's called it's called Carmageddon. Hold on, Max Damage.
Okay.
Let me see when it came out. It came out in 2016.
Okay, so it's,
Which is really recent.
Yeah, all right.
I mean, recent, 10 years ago.
Sure, yeah.
And I looked at the trailer, and it's everything not what you were just describing. It's like just ridiculous fun, which is what I liked out of Twisted Metal.
Which is what
and
this genre is
Carmageddon.
supposed to be about.
Yeah, yeah. So, and it's colorful, and it's crazy, and there's daytime. And what this game is, which again I'm going to buy as soon as we're done with this podcast, it's you play career mode or like whatever multiplayer, but then you can open up free play, which means like just go around a city and fucking go nuts.
Okay, all right.
Which is exactly what I like out of these car games. I don't think Twisted Metal had an open world version.
I don't believe so. I don't think
Yeah.
so. No.
But this has a like career, and it also has like open up free play, so you can just like kind of just drive around.
Okay, okay. That seems like
But-
already more fun.
I know. So let's tell people about Carmageddon Max Damage.
Max damage. That may be
And
the
it's for
jam.
sale on PlayStation.
What's it going for? Like $20, $10? What is it?
$20, $18.99.
Okay, that's a pretty reasonable price. So maybe check that one out instead. Carmageddon
Yeah.
Rogue Shift it just feels like the framework of a game that's going to have the assets added to it later on. It just does not feel like it gets off the ground. So check out Carmageddon Max Damage instead, I think.
Yeah, and by the way, there's another one in 2017 called Crashers. He just kept making these damn games.
Dude's making games. All right, got to respect that. I don't know what happened. Maybe he sold the license. Maybe he's just out of games now. Who knows?
I don't know, but anyways, all the graphics I looked at of the game you were just talking about seemed like an old school. I mean, a generic like asset thing, like you said.
seriously.
And these seem like unique.
You got to have personality, man. Got to have personality.
I'm glad you brought it to the show. I got Max Damage in my cart.
Let me know how it goes. Okay. All right, folks. Game portion of the show is officially done, but like many humans, Carlos and I do spend a few minutes a week in front of screens that don't have menus or life bars. That's right, folks. It's time for the TV and movie roundup. Carlos, why don't you kick it off? You got something that I don't know about. You brought another secret thing to the show.
Oh, did it? Oh, yeah. I have one thing. It's not that
So
much
secret
of
you
a
forgot.
show. I know.
Even Carlos didn't know what his secret was.
I'm watching a million shows, but side note, Smiling Friends is over. It's I like that show a lot, and they're gonna release 2 more episodes, and then they're done because they said we did what we wanted to do, and it's over.
Okay.
But I like that show a lot. Well, I was just gonna mention that on YouTube, with the world the way things are going, with the world right now, not going back to it. Don't worry. I wanted to go into the past because the past is fun sometimes.
Oh, sure. That's a pretty common thing for people to do. I hear you.
Yeah. So I found on YouTube, you just type in like MTV Late Night 1990. That's one of them. MTV Alternative Nation from 1996. So people have like just uploaded these VHSs of MTV.
Bro, it's so funny that you brought this up. People,
Really? Kismet?
We seriously don't coordinate this shit before the show. Like
We don't do any of that.
We don't even talk. It's nothing.
No.
But literally, my wife was like, "Hey, check this out," and it's called MTV Rewind. And you put it on your computer. You pick a genre or a period, and it just plays the music videos as if you were watching MTV.
I think I tried that a long time ago. That's so cool and weird that, you're bringing it.
We're both
okay,
doing
there
the
we
exact
go.
same thing. So there you go. Check out some MTV. People, I bet some people don't even know what we even mean by that.
Oh, yeah. It was a channel on television when there was channels on television.
Back in the day.
And then MTV became like just reality TV shows, but it originally was about music videos.
Yeah, music, television.
Yeah. And not only that, it was like culture, and they would definitely do news reports. And like the one I was watching was like talking about Nirvana and like, the controversy and stuff like that. And then they'd show a music video.
Yeah, man. This one I'm here, MTV Rewind. I guess you can Google it, or it's wantmymtv.vercel, VERCEL.app. They've got 89,535 music videos, spanning the 1970s through the 2020s. No ads, no login. It's you just click and it just plays. That's all there is. They don't steal your data, nothing. It's just there. It's just a thing to watch.
Oh yeah, this is upgraded because I think originally I saw this, but the interface is better now.
Okay,
and it
good.
says they have a buy me a coffee button.
Yeah, I
which
believe,
is
yeah,
great.
that's right. Yes, there is a coffee button. Yes.
So you can support them, which you should.
Which you
because
should.
It's expensive to keep this stuff running sometimes.
Fuck yeah, I can't get people to cough up a goddamn dollar, so definitely throw this guy a cup
Right.
of coffee, right? Fuck.
Yeah. That is really cool that they upgraded it. Yeah, that's what they did. And this is a great way to do it. But also, if you want to if you're on YouTube,
Yeah.
just look up like MTV Alternative Nation, 120 Minutes. MTV 120 Minutes is a good show.
All those shows from back in the day, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like, oh man, it felt so good to like not look at the world crap and be like, I'm going back to that world.
Yeah.
Time travel. It's
Time
possible.
travel. All right, cool.
And then I did want to mention with you, I've been in a positive mood. I don't want to be negative. I think that I had a pretty positive show.
Okay.
Even with Neo being really mad, being mad at Neo. But Knights of the Seven Kingdom, or the Knight of the Seven Kingdoms.
A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms, yes.
Yeah, I got you into it because you didn't know.
Yes, correct,
Right?
correct.
And then, yeah, and I was enjoying it up until the last 2 episodes.
Okay, don't spoil anything because I still got to watch the last 2.
Okay, yeah, actually probably like episode 4 or 5, which you did watch. Something rough happens, you know, like some traditional Game of Thrones bullshit where like, you know, here's my soapbox. I think it's a great show. I think it's cool. I think it's nice that it's a different departure because it's based on George R. R. Martin's like novellas or something, these little short things he made.
Sure.
Which have comedy in them, which work pretty well actually, and some heartfelt moments. And I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't see this coming from George R. R. Martin.
Yeah.
Because he's just like, kill everything and everything sucks. So I was like wooed in by him. He wooed me. Mm-hmm. He wooed me.
He is that guy. He's a player.
He wooed me real good. You know what? This is a perfect Kismet show. He's fucking Team Ninja.
George R.
Here's the
R.
name of the
Martin is
episode.
Team
George
Ninja.
R. R. Martin is Team Ninja.
Oh, boy.
I think they work together, those fuckers.
They're probably on the same email list. Yes.
They're in the same group chat.
That's right.
And they're like, hey, how can we fuck these people on video games? Hey, how can we fuck these people when they're watching our
I
show?
take it the show takes a turn in episode 5.
Yeah, do people suffer?
Okay, don't
there's
say anything. Don't spoil it. But
No,
yes,
I'm
all right.
not. But I'm saying like he loves this shit. I was going to do a whole video on it. I'll just do it in this podcast instead. I don't get what's in his brain. Like he's working through some shit.
Show me on the
Still.
doll where they touched you, George R. R.
Yes.
Martin. Yes.
Even though he's whatever age he is, he's still working through some shit. Because you don't do that without. It's just messed up, man. It just makes me feel very bad, and that's why I stopped Game of Thrones. We talked about it before. That's why I stopped Walking Dead when they like did the bad thing.
Sure.
I don't want to watch that. That's the real world, man.
Okay,
Get
well,
it
don't
outta
say anything
here.
else. Let's
Okay.
say for people who haven't seen it yet, this is about. So this is set in the world of Game of Thrones. And full disclosure, I have never seen a single episode of Game of Thrones ever. I have not watched
Which is
it.
crazy because you heard me like bitch about
Oh
it.
yeah,
a lot.
I mean I've heard people
Yeah.
talk about it. I've seen the memes. It was impossible to not know about it. But like I never watched it. My wife never watched it
Okay,
either.
yeah.
But this is set in the same world. I don't know if it's future or side story or whatever. But like
It's before, I think.
okay,
Game of Thrones,
I didn't
yeah.
know. I didn't know nothing about it. But basically, there's this knight who's off on his master just dies, and he is now the knight, and he doesn't know anything. He's kind of this big, self-described big dumb guy.
Dunk.
Yeah,
It's
his
such
name
a
is
good
Dunk.
name.
And then he
Yeah.
finds a little boy who's like fucking around in some inn somewhere, and the boy wants to go with him and have an adventure and become his squire. And they want to go to, we call it just the Ren Fair. They go to the Ren Fair to go do the jousting, and he wants to make a name for himself. And so they get there, and it's just about the two of them kind of like getting to know each other and fucking around and just doing stuff that you do at the Ren Fair. But they got the old-timey speech, and they, you know, everything's dirty and gross, but they have some fun. They do some, I mean, it's surprisingly funny. I think each episode has had at least a couple of laughs. There's been a couple heartfelt moments. I think, I will say, the casting director on the show fucking blew it out of the park with the people they cast. I can't imagine anybody doing a better job at these roles. The kid is perfect. Sir Duncan is perfect.
His name's Egg.
Yeah, the kid Egg.
The kid's name's
Egg is
yeah.
perfect. Sir Duncan is perfect. Everybody's like so spot on, and the performances are so good. Having just recently sat through some bad acting, I'm like, damn, this is some good acting, and so like it's amazing. So we've been liking. It's a little bit of a slow start, but it kind of picks up. and we're into it. So all we got left is episode 5 and 6, which is what made you so upset.
Yes.
And I got to be
Enjoy.
honest, dude. Like, I see the writing on the wall, and I'm like, oh man, I feel like some bad time is a coming. So we'll see what happens.
So I would still want to bring it up because I think if this George R. Martin, I know he just did it based on like something he already wrote, right? So you're not going.
As far as I know, I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I hear. But if he did adapt it for like television, like you can change things.
You can change things.
You can change things.
That is for sure.
I feel like the beginning of this in the first 4 or 5 episodes, it's like masterclass. It's like, what the fuck?
It's really
I
good.
love it.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love it.
It's
And
really
I
good.
like the slowness of it because I was like, the world's fast, the world's crazy. It felt great to slow down, be in this time. Like I told you, I texted you. The joust I loved. I was like exhilarated by the joust.
Yeah, it was crazy. The jousting is really wild to watch in the show. It's crazy. Like the most exciting
watch
jousting
this.
I've ever seen.
It is. And watch this. Here's that asterisk of Team Ninja. Okay, same thing. The jousting in the episode you watched is very fun. Guess what's going to happen, right? Obviously something bad.
Sure.
And so the point is that's your choice as a human. You could do either one. And the first one made me exhilarated and happy to be alive as a person. You know what I mean? I was like, whoa, what a thing. And the jousting, And then the second time is not good. And so I go, well, yeah, that's the part.
I don't expect anything good from the
They
the
woo
last
you
two
in,
episodes, yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's really weird. It's disappointing because I think it's so well done. I love all the characters.
It's gonna be brutal. We're afraid. We're like, oh man, I don't want X character to die. He's probably gonna die because we like that guy. So we're mentally preparing ourselves for some shit. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
All right.
That's it. I just still recommend it. I really still recommend it, but I just
We'll see what happens. Quick shout out to Wonder Man on the Disney Channel.
Oh, yeah.
This is a Marvel property. It's a Marvel miniseries. I don't know if anybody knows. Do you know who Wonder Man is, or you don't?
I know all about this because my friend is a comic book writer.
Yeah.
And so yes, I know all about it, and I've watched the whole show.
Okay, so I know who Wonder Man is from back in the day. He was like with the West Coast Avengers for a while, and he's always been this kind of weird dude who just like has powers and stuff, but also seems really generic. I don't think, for me anyway, he never really stood out. So he's like a C-list character that they're doing something with, which is interesting. They completely like reboot the whole thing. Like in the first episode, they give you a quick nostalgia nod to who the old Wonder Man was in a very clever way. And then they're like, okay, wipe that slate. We're doing something brand fucking new. And basically, he is an actor, and he's in Hollywood, and he wants to get a role. And they spend a lot of time, excuse me, on meta commentary about Hollywood. I have been to Hollywood. I have done some movie stuff before. Not like I'm an insider or anything, but I have dipped a toe in, and this all seems like super legit to me. Like, I'm like, yep, that's how it was. That's accurate. Yep, that's what we did. That all makes sense. And so they talk about auditions, and they talk about getting roles and how tough it is, and the acting process. They spend a lot of time talking about the acting process, to the point where my wife is like, is he going to blow some shit up? Like, what the fuck is happening here? Like, let's get some superhero shit going. But it's been so far. The performances are great. It's pretty funny. They're definitely doing the slow burn, kind of like they did with the Scarlet Witch series, where it took like 1 or 2 episodes to get going. But we'll see where it goes. I'm curious to see what happens. And it's interesting they chose Wonder Man because I think barely anybody these days has any attachment to Wonder Man. So it's kind of a blank slate. And I don't think that he has, the actor who's doing it doesn't really have anything to prove. And I don't think anybody has preconceived notions. Like everybody thinks of Wolverine as Hugh Jackman, and that's just kind of how it is. So anybody being Wolverine after that is like fucked. But Wonder Man is like, he could be anybody. And in fact, they do. Wonder Man originally was a white guy. He's now a black guy. And in the past, he wore this weird super suit, and now he's just like a regular actor kind of guy. So they're really flipping the script on it, and I'm curious to see where it goes. So we'll see what happens with that. And
It's by the way, I call it Barry, the superhero version of Barry.
Yeah, it could be similar. Yeah.
Right, it's a drama. Like that show is just a drama.
It is, yeah. Funny moments, definitely drama, about acting a lot. So yeah, for sure. Last thing, just a quick shout out for Ghosts. The cast of, have you ever seen the British version of Ghosts, that show?
I know of it. I didn't see it, no.
So it's about a woman that moves into an old British manor. It's haunted with a bunch of ghosts. It's all basically comedy, although there are some heartfelt moments by the same people who did Horrible Histories. Have you ever seen Horrible Histories?
No.
Okay. That's another British show, which is amazing. It's kind of sort of for kids, but it's also really fucking gross and weird and funny. Lots of education. They talk about stuff in history books that you don't learn about, like how things really were, how gross things were, how weird things were. It's a great show, award-winning show. And they went on to do Ghosts, and they all play the ghosts in the show. So the lady moves in, she can see the ghosts, nobody else can see them, and it's like shenanigans. They remade it here in America on CBS, And I thought it was like nowhere near as good. We stopped watching it after like 2 episodes. We're like, whatever. The original is way better. It ran for I think 3 seasons. It's really good stuff, excellent stuff. If you haven't seen Ghost, the British one, check it out. And then it was done. But they just announced yesterday they're actually getting the cast together to film a movie. They're going to do a full feature-length film reuniting the cast of Ghost. For me, amazing news. Super excited. For you, doesn't matter. You've never seen the show. But check it out. Check out the BBC version. I bet you might get a kick out of it, dude. I think you might enjoy it.
All right. I'll check it out.
All right. All right, folks. That is a show. Before the closing music, we'd love for you to leave reviews, share it on social media, but most important of all, recommend it to your friends because nothing beats good old word of mouth. As always, want to get your questions and comments, hit me up, SoVideoGamesPodcast@gmail.com, or on social media. I'm on Instagram and Blue Sky. It's my name, BradGallaway. Always, no O's. Carlos, where can people reach you?
I'm on the internet, but also matcha.life. I don't care about me. Go check out the app. It's matchah.life. We need to get people using it so that you can find other people.
Yeah, check it out.
Talk about games
Check
with.
it out. Carlos has got a great idea cooking, and you can get in on the ground floor here for sure.
The ground floor, baby.
That's right. All right. Also, you can hit, actually, Carlos and I both up in the Video Games Discord, which is free of charge. Just drop us a line.
Yes, I'm in there all the time now.
Yeah, you're in there all the time. It's great to see you popping up more often. And I try to check in multiple times a day. We've got many cool and sexy people in the Discord, which are great. Love chatting with those folks. So just hit me up and we'll get you on board, send you a free invitation, and we can continue that convo. Also, finally, again, if you want to support the show and help me with the cost of running this podcast and also GameCritics.com, you can do that over at patreon.com/the Video Games Podcast. Every single dollar helps, and €1 helps that much more. All right, folks, that's going to do it for episode 477. Thank you again for joining Carlos and I here on the Video Games Podcast, and I'll see you next week.
And I'll see you sometime soon.